Welcome, fellow seekers of challenge and triumph, to the SufferSooner podcast. Join us on a journey where ordinary souls embark on extraordinary endeavors. From the relentless grind of gravel to the punishing gauntlet that is triathlon, we've tasted our fair share of suffering. So fellow endurance warriors, let's lace up our shoes, strap on our goggles, and dive headfirst into the challenge, knowing that with every step, stroke, and pedal forward, we grow stronger together. All right, guys, welcome to the SufferSooner podcast. This is episode 64.
Got it right this time.
I know, right? I'm getting there. I'm going to have like a little calendar to count it up.
Yeah.
But we're joined with Josh Wolf and Katie Renner, who are doing some amazing things down in Johnson County, Kansas, which is JCPRD, right? I got it right.
Wow, how about that?
Look, I'm firing, man. I had a monster right before I started, so I'm ready to go. It's like race day.
I mean, you getting letters correct is amazing.
It's hard.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's really hard. So, yeah, my dyslexia just strikes all the time. So, yeah, really super happy to join. Katie's been on here before talking about Shawnee Mission. Of course, that's a great triathlon, especially if you're in the Kansas City area. Definitely hit up Shawnee Mission. I know I'll be doing it this year. Josh Wolf has been doing it. He's there all the time too. So, but yeah, so it's great having you guys on. Thanks for coming on.
Danny, are you gonna do it?
Yeah, I'm gonna twist his arm.
Yeah.
He's gonna do it.
I will at least attend. How about that?
No, he'll be doing it. He'll be doing like the short course, I'm sure.
You do the super sprint, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I think it's been well chronicled on this podcast, but swimming and I don't get along real well. We're on a little bit of hiatus, so
They're on a break. It's called a break.
Only you knew a couple coaches that could help you with that.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. Well, I had one that helped me learn, but I probably ran him off. So.
Yeah, I helped him like a lot, and then he's like, "Yeah, I don't need to swim anymore." I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like, no, you got to keep swimming.
No, I'm good. I got my goal. I'm good.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Good. Well, it's good to have you guys on. So there's some great news coming up Katie just let me know about. They're partnered with the Boy Scouts of America and USAT for getting a multi-sport merit badge going on. And you guys are going to actually help out with that, right?
We're creating the clinic and performing the clinic for Kansas City.
Great.
That's awesome.
So yeah, if you're into multi-sport and you have a Boy Scout, definitely go in for this. Where can they find out about this? Is this on the JCPRD website? Not yet?
It is not. So there's a super tight turnaround with this. We wanted to try to get it rolled out before summer, before races started, and before all the boys went off to camp. So May 30th, which is a Friday, will be the clinic date.
Okay. And
the Boy Scouts, the Heart of America Council is who we're working with here locally. But they're going to start publishing that here in the next few days.
Good.
So USAT developed this partnership with the Boy Scouts of America on their own. We saw that post come out and decided that we really wanted to be one of the first to make it happen, especially in this area.
Yep.
And so we immediately jumped on the Heart of America Council's page, found a contact, reached out and started making things work. So we have 50 slots available for these groups, these kiddos to come in. I think the age is 7+. Is that right, Josh? 11? Maybe 11?
I don't remember exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's either 7 or 11. It's a little bit older because they have to have some prior badges before they can earn this badge.
Yeah, I imagine they have to have like the swimming badge and the bike riding badge or, whatever other badges that facilitate the learning of this one.
The swim part, it's important, right?
Yes.
Right, Danny?
Yeah. So wait, I'm listening because I might need to go like work out with some of these kids and learn how to swim.
There we go. Yeah, so we are we're hosting that at Kill Creek Park from 9 a.m. to noon on May 30th. We have 50 slots available for these kiddos to come out and fill. And then we have several coaches. So we'll swim in the lake, we'll bike on some trails, we'll run on some trails, we'll get them through an entire either duathlon or triathlon, whichever one they really want to do. They can also, I think Josh mentioned this earlier, but it's really kind of any multi-sport. So it's aquathlon, aquabike, anything you can think of.
Yeah.
which is super cool because it doesn't just kind of pigeonhole them into triathlon, which sometimes can be scary, right? Because the swim, Danny,
Right.
can be a little unnerving. So they can do, any of those.
Yeah, and it also is going to encompass everything that they would need to have that badge. So there's all kinds of different requirements for the badge, and we're going to go through those specifically, except for the ones that are already like extraneous that they are supposed to have to do, like log something with their counselor or those types of things. So other than that, though, it's going to be a one-shot fits all type of thing.
Yeah, so they're going to sign up for this, attend the clinic, and then they're going to walk away with a multi-sport merit badge, which is awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
So I circled around your question if it was posted on our website. It's not, but it is open up on runsignup.com.
Okay.
Sweet.
It's on Run Sign Up. Yeah, and then of course, if you're listening to this podcast, it will be on the SufferSooner page and the Facebook page. So we'll have links to all that kind of stuff. So definitely, if you're hearing about it and you want to sign your kid up and get this merit badge, then you can find it through there too.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
More and more initiatives to get kids into this stuff. That is great.
Yeah.
So very good.
So Travis, you asked, I just want to say really quick, you asked what other kind of cool things that we're doing, and I completely skipped over, but I think I talked about it last time I was on here, maybe. So Josh and I are going to a middle school on Friday. It's Chisholm Trail Middle School in Olathe.
Okay.
Did I tell you about this?
I think you've told me, yeah, that it's one of the only middle schools that has an actual triathlon program that they do. So they do basketball, field hockey, and then they're like, hey, guess what? We're doing triathlon next week.
Yeah, so they incorporate it into their PE curriculum, which is super cool. So I know the teacher there, the PE teacher, and so we were able to make this connection. So we're going to bring some of our gear out. We got these boys and girls tri shirts for their race, which has Tri 913 on the back. So because we have to rep ourselves, right?
Exactly.
We're going to spend all day at the middle school cheering these kiddos on. We're excited.
That's great.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I think, me and Danny have talked about this many a times, and I know, Josh, you feel the same. Is like the sooner we can get these kids into triathlon, because a lot of us have found triathlon later in life, like when we were, in our 20s or early 30s
or
something.
40s,
or Danny, like Danny in his 40s. But triathlon has just been such a great vehicle for just attacking life, basically. Like nothing is harder than an Ironman. You're getting harder, having a hard day at work. Well, it's not as bad as that 3-hour run session I did 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I think it just teaches so much. I mean, our kids grew up with the traditional stick and ball sports, and I coached in that area for a number of years. And again, not knowing much about triathlon, and the thought of bike rides was you just get on your Huffy mountain bike and you ride around the local trail, and that's about it, right? So I think the fact that you get more families and kids exposed to this, it's such a healthy sport, and it's such a great alternative to traditional stick and ball sports, because that's not a lot of kids just don't want to play those sports for various reasons, and I'm convinced sports are a great pathway for excellent leaders in the community and as they get older. So anytime you get a chance for kids to learn these skills so early in life, the discipline it takes and everything else, it's just
sets them up for everything else.
Yes. Can't say it enough.
Yep.
So.
And it avoids the individualization of sports.
Yeah.
So it allows you to kind of move away from that. And then there's also the idea that some sports, and there's been studies on this, if you're in high school and you make varsity sports, that's kind of the sweet spot of when you're probably going to stay active.
Mm-hmm.
We all know people that have gone through collegiate sports, and whether it's football, whether it's swimming, whether it's volleyball, you tend to get away from the idea of staying active, and a lot of that has to do with injury and that kind of stuff. So anyway, the point is, if you can help kids, get away from those supplements, not get away, but supplement their sports with a multi-sport, I think it's so great, and the character building that it does cause.
And triathlon is one of those things that you do for life, right? Like you can start it as a teenager, and you can do it, like you know, we have 80-year-olds completing Ironmans.
Right.
You know, it's one of those things that you can continue to just keep doing and keep going. You know, like there's people that can't run anymore, so they just do the swim bike part. You know, there's places for you to stay active longer in triathlon and multisport than you know, how many, you know, high school baseball players do we know that don't play baseball at 25?
Yeah, you blow an elbow out or tear a shoulder, and it's like pretty much you're done for that sport.
Yeah.
Find something else. Yeah.
So, but yeah.
Well,
So
I was just gonna say, I think on the flip side of that too, like, you know, if you are really passionate about those other sports, right, your stick and your ball sports, like this can complement it very well. You know, you're doing 3 different sports that are increasing your endurance, increasing your, you know, cardiovascular ability to be better at those sports.
Yep.
So yeah, you can kind of take it full circle, which is super cool. And I also like to think of triathlon as like for kids, right? Like those are 3 really fun things that they like to do anyway.
Right.
yeah.
Like, they're always running around. Like, I'm gonna ride my bike here, and you know,
We're
let's
gonna go
play
down to the pool. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like, so it's taking 3 really fun things that they like to do, and putting them together, and giving them a medal at the end, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, rewarding them for doing those things really well. So
You know,
Yeah.
triathlon is the original multi-sport athlete. You think about it. It's like baseball and football. Like you love athletes that play both of those sports, especially in even basketball. You love it because they develop the sort of secondary skills that complement the other sport.
Yep.
But triathlon is the original multi-sport athlete. To your point, Katie, I mean the aerobic ability, you don't get that in those other sports. You just don't, and it helps performance in those dramatically.
Yeah.
So that's a very good point. I think that to your, you know, if there are parents out there like, oh, but my kids already, you know, I already spent enough money and my kids are already involved in all these other sports, this is a great cross-training opportunity, if nothing else. So
Yeah. outstanding.
So anything else, Katie? Any other big initiatives coming up that before we move into the team?
Those are, you know, 2 of the things that we've really been looking forward to. This merit badge thing kind of snuck up on us a little bit, but we're really excited about it, and we're really excited to, you know, hopefully introduce some new kids to the sport. We've known about the middle schools, and hopefully more middle schools and more schools in the area start to, you know, incorporate this. And you know, if there's a teacher out there listening to this and wants to incorporate it, like, get with us, we'll help.
Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You know, we produce races, so we have all those tools. We know what it takes, and we can help you, you know, orchestrate it. We can help with pretty much any aspect of it.
Awesome.
And that's all Katie. That's not a me thing.
Josh knows how to set it all up.
What do you think? Just real quick though, like that's interesting. What do you think the outlook is over the next, say, 5 to 10 years? Like, what's the possibility of these sports becoming more like traditional high school sports? Is that a real possibility, do you think?
I do. I think USAT has a very big initiative for that, especially the high school, trying to get it into them. And the more that we have collegiate programs, the quicker that's going to get into the high school. But like, you know, the collegiate programs are pretty cool because they do have scholarships to them. And I don't know how many there are. The last I looked, I think there were like 8 of them that were around the country. So, but yeah, what do you think, Katie?
I mean, I think, you know, Josh and we've talked a lot about like the high school programs, and I know USAT's initiative right now is really to push the high school programs. And I think where we start here with Try 913 is you kind of got to get them hooked before they're in high school, right? Sometimes it can be challenging to learn a new sport, but if you already loved it when you were 7 and you just kept doing it and you loved it, you want to see it when you're in high school. And so you're going to advocate for it as well as a child in high school. So I think that's really what and where our team starts is, you know, we have a couple kiddos that are going to be 13. Those are our oldest kids right now. And I think they will stay with us and they will stay with the sport. And hopefully we can get more kiddos that are that age, because I think once they get past, you know, like 10, they start to drop off because where do they go?
Right.
What do they do?
Yeah.
You know, is there a team I can be on? I can't do it in my school. I can't, you know, I have to kind of fall into one of these categories. And so I think we're giving them that opportunity to continue with that sport. And what I hope is that we expand that older age group, and then really get into high schools. Like sometimes it's easy to start kids from swimming into triathlon, but if you've never done it, then it can be challenging. And yeah, so I think we have a really good program for it right now. I would say within the next 5 years, we'll probably have quite a few more high school athletes. Hopefully it can get into the high schools here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So you mentioned the 913 team. So I think that's the next thing. So tell us a little bit about that. I mean, when Travis came in one day, we were getting ready to record, and he started talking a little bit about this. I think he was coming out to meet with you guys and swore me to secrecy because I don't think it had been announced yet. But I was super, super excited about this. So tell us all about it.
Yeah. So Try 913, we are a kids triathlon team. So Katie and I have been doing this. This is actually the end of our spring semester, if you will. This has been a 6-week cohort program, and we're about to do a summer program too. So no reason to get upset that we are ending our spring program.
But there's more space and more time for you to get some triathlon in.
More is coming. And so what it is we wanted to get a team together. So if you look back at the Johnson County Park and Rec Kids Triathlon, there's Katie, how many kids come through that? 360, is that what it was?
Wow.
So last year we had 325, which
25
is a sellout for us because the park can only hold so many people, and every kid brings like 3 other people with them because we're all super excited about kids, right?
Yeah.
So 325 with a wait list.
Wow.
Yeah. And then there's kids from all over. There's kids from Arkansas. There's kids from up in Nebraska. There's kids from, everywhere you can think of. There's kids that come down for this thing. And then there's some really cool teams out there that bring their kids to the triathlon. And Katie we've been talking about this a little bit here and there. And we were thinking about maybe it's 2 years ago, doing a kids triathlon team somewhere else. And we decided, why can't we just do it here with Johnson County Park and Rec? These kids are amazing. They have parents that get together. They are really excited to be out there. They have all these jerseys and whatnot. So we wanted to have something that was kind of similar, that had a lot of camaraderie, a lot of community, a lot of excitement around it. And then we wanted to create a team that kind of was along our same value point.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah.
What did I miss, Katie?
I mean, I think like a little bit of a backstory kind of behind all of it. When I started with JCPRD, I've been here for 9 years, and our kids try had 90 kids in it. So I think, that speaks to just the growth of the sport. And over, the last 5 or 6 years, minus COVID, Josh and I have been doing youth tri camps together. We've ranged from, I think we started out doing one camp where we had kids between the ages of 6 and 14, which was a little bit crazy. To, last year, I think we did 4 camps. This summer, we just had a conversation last night. We have 2 camps, 1 week for the 6 to 10-year-olds and 1 week for the 11 to 14-year-olds. And last night we talked about, okay, how can we get more staff so that we can increase our space in the 6 to 10-year-old camp, right? Like, that's a good problem to have.
Yeah, yes, it is.
We've been building it from all different angles. And, the Shawnee Mission Tri, I think, plays a big role in this because I see so many kids come out and cheer on their parents. And I even see like some older kids that are participating that are, 16, 17, 18 years old. Like, what are they doing before that?
Right.
Are they doing our kids tri? How are they training? We have amazing facilities. Like I said, we have all the stuff. So, we have bike racks and like everything that you would need to create like a really great training program for these kids. So really, like when we put our heads together, we were like, why not?
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't we do it?
Right.
And, we tried to kind of kick off in the fall of last year, and that was a little bit of a stutter step for us. But when we came into the new year, we just said, we don't care how many kids sign up for it. We're going to do it.
Yeah.
If we have 6, we're going to do it. We have 16 right now, and they range anywhere from 6 years old to 13 years old. And like I said, that's a wide range.
Yeah.
So we have 3 coaches where we divide the kids out. And we really work with them on their level. Like, we're not trying to teach a 6-year-old what we would try to teach a 13-year-old. They're learning abilities are very different. Come into summer, like my expectation is that we're probably going to have like 20 to 30 kids, which is a lot because 16 right now for the three of us is a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
So we're learning too, right? Like it's different. But it's so cool and it's so great. And I mean, I can't say enough positive things about it. Josh said that we're wrapping up our spring session right now. Today's literally the last day for it. And so many kids are so sad. Like their parents are like, what are we going to do without Tri-Team for the next 4 weeks? And, just to be fair, like, Josh is racing and, like I have other races that we're producing. So we have to take a little bit of a break. But we're super excited for summer. Like summer is going to be great. We're going to have 3 practices a week. The kids are going to be able to swim in the lake and in the pool. And we're just going to kind of take it to a different level. So we're excited about it.
That's great. That's so awesome.
What have been some of the things that you learned from this that you had no idea, like you never would have expected or thought, like coming into it? I'm really curious, like how, because it's number one, this has to be super rewarding, but I have to think there's been some like, oh wow, I never would have thought about that.
Well, the first day, yeah, Katie called it kind of a cluster, and I think it was a little bit of a cluster for sure. But we decided to go for a bike ride, and there are 16 kids, and all their parents are hovering around too because they just got there, which is totally okay. We wanted them. We want to include the parents in this, and so we invite them out to the park and that kind of stuff. So we go out for this bike ride, and kids were everywhere. They were scattered everywhere. Katie was with the littles. They're like 6 years old and they can't even ride in a straight line.
Sure.
And I'm up with the 12-year-olds, and in the middle I don't even know what was going on with them. So
we learned really quickly after that. Like
right?
I don't know if you can see my eyes right now, but like at the end of practice, Josh and I were both like this, like what was that?
Yeah.
But it's okay.
But they came back.
Yep.
And they came back.
Yep.
And to Josh's point, like parents have been so supportive. Like, there's several parents that are like, I'll run with you guys. Like, I would love to come bike with you guys. Yeah. Like, that's great. We love that. And we told the parents, in our preseason meeting, like, we will absolutely welcome you guys. What we don't want to see is you yelling at your kid.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
We were
just
go
ahead. Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, I have to think that there's a ton of community support for this. I mean, obviously just the triathlon community in general is super supportive. So I can imagine there's a lot of folks that want to jump in and help. And it's such a tough thing. Cause I mean, again, having coached other sports over the years, one thing about parents is they can also be one of the toughest coaches, especially on their own kids. So it's like, it's hard for parents to draw the line. This is why not every parent is a good coach, because it's so hard for them to draw the line between coach and parent. And so, again, you want that support from them, you want the help, but yeah, certainly knowing where that boundary is can be a challenge. So,
yeah. And I think, to answer your question about like something that's really shocked me, like 6-year-old girls will hold hands on the run and that's fine. But then they try to hold hands on the bike.
Oh no.
That is not fine.
It doesn't work that way.
That's okay. Takes a lot of skill to do that.
They're really skilled. We have this one little girl that just like always turns around and looks at the people behind her on the bike. I'm like, you are gonna face plant. But like I also recognize it as like they really want to have fun.
Yeah.
Like that's them having fun. And so we don't try to discourage all of that. Like the biking, yes, like that's a little bit dangerous. Sure. But like one of their moms has said, like, gosh, she just always does that. And I'm like, if that's how she has fun, that's how she has fun.
Right.
Yeah.
Whatever we can do to get her to love this is great. And then, Josh and I have talked about this too. And I've had to have these hard conversations with some of our admin team about like us needing maybe more coaches on site or more help on site, is that, with the swim team, these kids are contained, right? Yeah. They're in a pool. Obviously, water can be dangerous, right?
Yeah.
But you're contained inside of a building. When you're at gymnastics practice, you're contained inside of a building. When you're at a park, it's a free-for-all.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's different places to turn. You could go any direction. Like kids ride at different speeds. So those have just been some, for me, I think Josh, like, you're an adult coach, so you recognize this, but like, it's kind of been different for me. And to have those conversations with people about, like maybe having some extra staff out there. And we have a girlie from my office here. And then Addison has just started helping us too. that, you know, we've been able to kind of divide these kids out into age groups, which helps us. And I think it helps them too, because we're not expecting a 6-year-old to do what a 13-year-old is doing.
Yeah. Yeah. I find, you know, I teach kids to swim at our local community center here. And depending on the age groups, sometimes they're a little bit more mixed in their skill levels. But even then, you know, I'm in a pool with them, but even then they run off. Like, it's like, I'm like counting them, going like, we're missing some, where's somebody at? Like, and then you turn around and they're doing flips in the deeper end and you're like, what are you doing, man? Get back over here. It's like, what the heck?
Having fun.
Yeah, I'm just having fun. I'm like, I get that you're having fun, but we gotta like, I have to be able to see you. Otherwise the lifeguard is going to be jumping in after you. So I'm like, you know, you have to have these conversations with the kids and the parents sometimes about like trying to stay safe, and they're just off doing whatever they want to do. And you're just like, yeah, we need more people like watching the water, especially with water. Yeah. And then as far as like cycling goes, it just happens, you know, stuff happens at speed and, you know, you go down. Yeah. I've seen it all the time. So
for sure.
But yeah, no, I think this is great. And the thing that I'm watching the most of is, as I'm basically watching, you and Josh, how you guys are structuring this. And then since I work at the Gladstone, eventually I'm thinking that we'll start, you know, modeling our system off of your guys' stuff, because we already got, you know, kids triathlon. We're slated to be the weekend before Memorial Day. No, Labor Day. Sorry, not Memorial Day. So Labor Day. Sorry.
Well, that's breaking news. We haven't talked about that.
I know
yet,
we haven't
so.
talked. Yeah, so I got it. So me and a good friend of mine, Fernando. I think most of you guys know Fernando. Yes, that's the good thing about triathlon is we all know each other. And so Fernando, he's helping me out. We marked out a course. We got it all submitted. We're talking to, Gladstone community, the city park and all that stuff. And so, yeah, we're gonna have it. I think we're gonna have it.
We'll definitely be there for sure.
Yes, we will.
You know what I'm hearing? I'm hearing a little 816-913
oh no
rivalry brewing here. That's what I'm hearing.
The thing is we're just starting out. We're taking a lesson out of Katie's and Josh's book. Is we're gonna start small. Start small, couple of slots. Get the feel for it, make sure everything works okay, and then we'll start scaling it up. But yeah, no, I think what I think is hard for, and what I'm trying to say in a roundabout way is that you guys are inspiring others in the community, in the triathlon community, to do things that they would have done before. Yeah. I would have never thought about putting on a triathlon. I love going to them. I love you race directors, but then I'm like, you know what? I guess it's time. Let me try putting one on and see how that goes and see, so
I love it.
So I put on my race director's hat and, planned out the course and all that other stuff. So, I'm tipping my toe, but, I thought of you guys as the inspiration for it because, you guys are doing it. I'm like, oh, you know what? Yeah, I might as well do it too. So,
we will help you in any way that we can.
Yeah, for sure. And that's the other good thing is that we're, since we're all, we all help out each other the best we can and we do what we can, exactly like when, Josh and Katie told me about, their 913 tri team. I was so pumped up and, announced it on here and I've, brought the cards to, we have a Narwhal Swim Club. Is it Narwhals? Yeah, Narwhals. Yeah, Club North Narwhals. Mm-hmm. So I brought some of the cards to them and handed those out, and
cool.
And so I was like, if you're looking for a summer program, so it's just nice to the community supports it, everybody else, and so I just want to say, that's awesome. So
So I also want to tag on to what you literally just said about the community supports it. Like we've really been trying to, Josh mentioned that that's one of our values. And that's a core value for me too, that it's just so important. And so we've really tried to teach the kids that. And what I think that has done in a roundabout way, and I didn't expect it to do this with the parents, Josh, I don't know if you expected this either, because we didn't really expect all the parents to stay through the entire practice. But like when we go out and do stuff, like, and the kids come back in, like we want to cheer them in when they're coming in. And so we make like a victory tunnel for them to run through. The parents come out and make it too. And the parents get the siblings involved. And it's so cool because they're pumped to see their kids do it. They're pumped to see other kids do it. Like, it's just, they're getting to experience what you get to experience at a regular adult triathlon. It's so cool.
Yep.
Yeah. I really can't wait for them to take that to our races.
Yeah.
It's going to be a big deal for them, cheering for all the different kids and whatnot. And, you know, we have, I should be wearing my shirt, but we have, you know, specific shirts and kits and everything for our kids.
Yeah.
That are out and people can see. So it'll be amazing to have our entire community out there cheering for the kiddos.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. So, all right. So if you want to find out more about the kids' youth triathlon, I pulled this straight from the internet. So hopefully I got it right.
It looks great to me.
Yeah. So I'm going to leave it up there. It'll also be in the show notes following this video and all that other stuff. So definitely check it out. If you got a kid or you know a kid that's just a little too rambunctious and needs to burn off some energy, triathlon will get you there. Because I know my wife is always like, "Isn't there some kind of training you need to do? You're a little too amped up today."
Is today interval day? I sure hope it's interval day.
I hope it's interval day because you're just a little too much right now. So
we also have we received a grant from USA Triathlon to get some kids into the sport that maybe otherwise would not have gotten into the sport. So if they have financial barriers or anything that's really kind of preventing them, we do have a grant from USAT that we would love to use. On that page that you had shown, there is a link for kids to apply for our scholarship program. So we can scholarship them onto the team. What that includes is we have worked with a local bike store, Trek, who has been awesome about helping us out with bikes for these kids.
That's awesome.
We'll get them a kit. We'll pay their registration fees. We'll pay their race registration fees. You know, we're just excited to get new kids into the sport, or for that matter, keep kids in the sport.
Right.
Yep.
So we have some kids that, you know, their parents are going through financial hardship and they're not able to, you know, to get them into the sport that they really want to do. And so anybody can apply for it. We would just love to see kids use it. Like I said, we want to get as many kids into this program as we possibly can. And we know that you guys know probably more than I do, because my bike does not cost nearly as much as what you guys do. But triathlon can be an expensive sport.
It can be. Yes.
So if we can help out with that, we want to.
Right.
So if anybody out there knows a kiddo that would like to try and doesn't have the means to be able to, or has a kiddo, let us know. We want to help.
Yep. That is so awesome, because I mean, we talk about it all the time. Like the barrier to entry is in this sport is at least up there with all of the other major sports, if not even more so. And
yeah,
you know, I know, you know, hockey's expensive, baseball's expensive, football's expensive. I mean, soccer's expensive, and I never understood how soccer was so expensive, because like it's a pair of cleats and a ball, right? But but it is. I mean, there's a ton of money that goes into the fields and everything. So, I mean, the fact that you all have found a way to help remove that, like, there's no excuse here. Like, there is zero excuse. If somebody wants to do it, all they have to do is sign up. There's a way to get them involved, and that is so awesome, because there are so many kids out there who are probably in a financial situation that want to but can't. Well, guess what? That's not a problem anymore. So that is so awesome to hear.
Yeah, and that's another thing I love about the triathlon community, is that, you know, we know that this is not a, you know, very low sport. It can be very costly. So we do, you know, I've shared wheels with teammates or people. You know, I've lent them, you know, any piece of kit that they would need. You know, if it fit them, if they needed a wetsuit, they could they could take my wetsuit. You know, if they wanted my bike, I would basically let them ride my bike if it fit them. You know, we just want more people doing triathlon, because it's just so much fun.
Well, and I think too, you know, like, obviously the grant from USAT isn't endless, and it expires at the end of this year. Hopefully we use it all, but if we use it all and we have more kids than what we have funds, we'll figure it out.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think the triathlon community in Kansas City is super supportive of that. JCPRD has scholarship programs as well. So, running our program through JCPRD, I think opened us up to a little bit of assistance there too. And our, upper admin and our board and everybody wants to see this program be successful. And this is really how it happens, right? It's a community and we support each other.
Yep.
Awesome. Very good. So, so on the next topic, I think we want to get into Shawnee Mission Tri and talk a little bit about that, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yep. So Shawnee Mission Tri, guys, it's coming up. How
It
many
is
days?
coming
How many
up.
days are
what's
we
the
out,
countdown?
Katie?
Yeah, countdown.
Hold please.
Put her on the
On
spot.
the run sign up page. We are 68 days out.
Good.
Nice.
So panic train now, guys.
Right.
Start panic training now.
You guys are like 2 weeks out from, you're not even 2 weeks, you're less than 2 weeks from KC Tri.
KC
Yeah.
Tri? Yeah, I'm not doing KC Tri.
Josh, are you doing it?
Yeah, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
be there. I'll cheer you guys on. I I don't know if I've mentioned this, but like I was doing so one of my goals this winter was to develop my stroke swimming. So the other strokes. So backstroke, breaststroke, and butterfly. And so I was working on my breaststroke kick on my back, and I kicked the lane line. And I'm pretty sure I broke my foot because it was all bruised and black and horrible. And so I have yet to run on it lately because every time I like go into the backyard and play with the dogs and I grip my toes, it just hurts again. So so I won't be doing KC Tri for that reason.
Oh my goodness.
But I will be there to cheer you guys on because I have a couple of athletes that are doing it. So I will be there. It'll be good.
All right.
Yeah, so I feel like KC Tri really kicks off the tri season in Kansas City.
Yep. Yeah, it's time to
yeah.
transition this podcast from gravel talk to tri
Right?
talk.
It's getting close.
It's getting close.
Yeah.
So
Let's turn the page.
yep.
Yeah, so Shawnee Mission Tri is coming up really soon, 41st year. Still planning on all of our distances. Hopefully it doesn't rain this year on one side of the course that no one can see.
Just get
I feel like
people
nobody
out there
believed me
sweeping it.
last year.
Just get them out there sweeping it.
Don't you have some blowers or something you
Yeah.
can just run across that and just get
Did
the
I tell
water
you
out?
guys that?
Oh yeah,
That,
yeah. Good times.
The park guys were like, "You're insane."
Yeah.
Josh, I called the park guys and I was like, "You guys have those like blower things that blow the trails off, and you just like do that." And he was like, "That's gonna take me all day." And I was like, "Well, NASCAR does it." It's
Well,
like,
we don't have all
the NASCAR stuff.
We have 10 minutes. Do it, right?
Yeah, knock it out. Yeah, what are we waiting for?
So
What's cool? What's cool too is, and I know we're going to talk about this, and the course is back to the original course
Oh.
that we had. So it's the out and back version on the run. The bike can't really change. The bike surrounds
Yep.
the lake, and
You can't go down and like just shut down all the lights and stuff.
Right.
Come on, Katie.
No. I tried that and I got a big hard no.
That would be so cool to put a half Ironman out there.
Oh, I know,
Right?
right? Yeah.
It would be awesome. Yeah, so we're back to the run course that does kind of the out and back. It does a little bit of the loop, but not consistent loops.
Okay.
Because that was a little bit confusing. So we're back to that. I love the addition of the shorter, the super sprint distance to this race, because of the amount of people that it brings, all the way from I'm 70 years old and I'm brand new to triathlon and I just wanted to try it.
Yep.
That distance is perfect, and 11-year-olds can do that distance.
Yeah.
So, I'm hopeful that some of our kids on the team might want to try that distance. And with that said too, part of what this race now benefits is our triathlon team. So we're requiring that our kids come out and volunteer.
Oh, nice. Good.
Because we wanted to make it full circle, right?
Yeah.
Like that's something that I've really learned from Josh is that, if I have a need at our kids try, he'll put out an all call to the adults, to the wolf pack. And I can do the same thing with you guys, and you guys will do the same with, the athletes that you coach, and they come out.
Yep.
And so I think it's important that if, financially part of this race is going to benefit our kids tri team, that they come out and they see these adults and they cheer them on.
Yep.
So we're really excited for that. And, I don't know, you might see a 6-year-old at an aid station. Hopefully they're not holding hands. Hopefully they're holding cups of water.
They're holding hands and the cup of water.
Right?
Maybe they might be. It'll be cute though, right?
Yeah, it'll be
Put a smile on
the
your face.
cutest thing.
Yeah.
out there. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm really excited about this year's race. Hopefully, like I said, we have some great weather. It's the July race, right? And it's
Yeah.
usually always hot.
It is what it is. It's
Yeah.
Kansas in July. What do you want? Like,
Hot and humid.
yeah.
Right.
So
Although,
I love that race. I've been doing it. Sorry to interrupt you. I've been doing it for so long. I mean, I remember I first did it in when I first got into triathlon in 2005. And I've been doing it pretty much every year since then. And with, like she said, with the team, I try to get them out there as much as possible. It's kind of our local home ground race that we all try to do. And I love to promote it too, because I think it really is approachable for most people. And it's the most local triathlon that we're going to have around here.
right.
Yep. Yeah, especially in your area. We do a lot of promotion for the Matt Mason Tri, because that's basically like our nearest lake is Smithville. So, we do summer swims up there and, bike rides and stuff around there, like getting ready for that triathlon and stuff. But yeah, you got to have your like hometown tri. And then, what's nice is that, Shawnee Mission is, only like 30 minutes away from here. From my house. Yeah. So it's not like, I've driven way further for a shorter race.
Right.
Like, so it's not a big deal to just hop in the car, come on down and do that race. And it's, people complain about the loop course, but I'm like, it's one, the best thing about Shawnee Mission, and I can say this about most of the races that I've done, the races that are well put together and well put on.
Yeah.
Like this is one of them, and it shows.
Yeah.
And there's, aid stations where they need to be. There's support where it needs to be. There's a great athlete's guide, so you know exactly what's going on. The swim course is really good. It's all been thought out, and it's just one of those races that are just, it's well put together. The community support is huge. And it's fun. Every time I've done Shawnee Mission, it has been a blast. And the only reason I didn't do it last year is because I was in Colorado, so it was a trade-off.
It was, yeah, and that's the thing. We covered this, I think, when we had you on last time, Katie. I mean, you have one of the most well-run events in the area, if not the most well-run event, and I think, the fact that it is, I mean, anybody in the metropolitan area can be there in 30 minutes or less. Yep. And it's just such an awesome event. So you guys do a great job for sure. So
well, and a couple things. So we always do a pre-race clinic. We try to do it a couple weeks out so that anybody that's new and hasn't ridden the course or just has questions can come out. So this year that is on June 23rd.
Okay.
So that's open on Run Sign Up as well. We would love for everybody to come out, and I mean that includes like seasoned athletes. Like what Josh has really done with this clinic is we kind of like to pair people like 1-to-1, right? Yeah. Like if you're a seasoned athlete, pick up an unseasoned athlete and tell them your tips and tricks, because that's a cool way to communicate that out. And I just did some quick math here, but we're at 54% have never done this race.
Oh wow!
As for our registrations right now, and it tends to look like that each year. Well, at this point in time, it tends to look like that. Once we get to June or the end of June, and all you guys are like, "Oh, okay, I can take a breath and sign up now."
Yeah,
June is insane for registrations. But that's a lot of new athletes that if we can give them a good experience into the sport, they'll stay in the sport.
That's right.
And I think that's one of the most important things is that we keep them in the sport, because that's how we grow.
Yep.
So
outstanding.
So yeah, June 23rd at Shawnee Mission Park. We will swim, we'll bike, we'll run, we'll go through transitions. We literally cover everything.
Yep.
Awesome.
Josh, you cover everything. I'm just there.
It's a we thing.
Yeah. I do pretty good at that too. It's a we thing. It's like, I'm there to watch and you do all the work.
Right.
And together we get it done.
There last year. You gonna come this year?
I was there. Yeah, I'll be there. I'm wherever you guys need me. If I can fit it into my schedule, I will help out the best I can. Just like I know you guys, when when I need help, you'll answer the call if you can, or
Heck yeah.
We got you.
so so
Yes.
that's exactly what we're here for. Anything else, guys, that you got coming up that we need to know about or need to shout from the rooftops up here in the Northland?
What else, Josh? So summer team for Try 913 kicks off on June 10th, I think is our start date.
It's June 9th.
June 9th?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
And I will have all of these dates in the
Yeah?
description
In the
of
show
this
notes.
video.
Perfect.
In the show notes of this video. It'll also be in the Instagram posts and the Facebook posts and all that stuff. So don't freak out if you're scrambling to try to write it all
Right.
down. But I will get a hold of
You're right.
Katie
Okay.
and Josh and confirm all of these dates and stuff. So
Sweet.
Yeah.
so it kicks off on the 10th, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then are you doing the try for free events, right? Is that what they're called? Or are they try curious events?
Quite curious. That's kind of fun.
Try.
Yeah.
But
try.
We did one in spring.
Yep.
And it was fabulous. We had so many new kiddos join us. We'll probably do one in summer. We don't have that date set yet, but we will absolutely get that to you when we know that date.
Okay.
Because again, we really kind of phrase it as like, just bring a friend with you.
Yep.
And let them experience what today is like, and see if they want to get into it. So yes, we'll absolutely do that in the summer.
Great.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. And those are great. If you're not sure what this whole triathlon thing is about and you're just like, what are these crazy nuts talking about? Like these are great times for you to just kind of come in and see why we love this sport so much and why we enjoy it so much. And so trying try curious, try. Yeah. We'll figure out a name. We'll get it. We'll get the name right here soon.
You name it.
Yeah.
Just let us know.
But yeah, and so some of that stuff and the dates, as soon as I get the dates about that stuff, I'll post all that stuff too. And then again, go to Johnson County Parks and Rec, sign up for the youth team if you guys are interested. Shawnee Mission, sign up for that if you want a great triathlon race experience. You don't have to do the long distance. You can do any distance that you would like. And then Coach Josh Wolf. If you're interested in getting adult coaching from a really great triathlon coach and you live in the Olathe area, definitely check out Josh's page, the Wolf Pack. I'm sure if you're down there, you've probably seen them riding on all the roads.
Definitely all over the roads.
Yeah.
Hey,
definitely.
Josh, tell us a little bit about your coaching background a little bit, because I know we haven't had you on before. So
Yeah,
just maybe give a quick
yeah.
intro about your background in coaching and any team events or open to the public team events that you have this year.
Yeah. So concisely put, I got into triathlon basically to try to avoid being in trouble, and I had some mental health things going on as well. And it just really gave me the confidence, the self-efficacy, the self-esteem to be able to do things that I once thought I could not do. I didn't play any sports in high school or college. I didn't do anything in elementary school. So I thought I was horrible at all that kind of stuff until I found this thing. And for me, I wanted to try to give that to everybody else. So inspire people to do what they thought was once impossible, to help people do what they can't do.
Mm-hmm.
And I think once you figure out that you can do what you can't do, is there anything that you can't do?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of how I got into coaching, is I wanted to give that same experience. And that was back in like 2009 was my first time coaching a group of women. And it was really funny. They were training for the Olathe women's triathlon down there.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a group of 30 women, and I had no idea what I was doing. So it was really fun. I learned a lot. Like, I remember we were all swimming one time, and I was like, I don't know, do the front stroke, like,
Yeah.
What do you tell people? So I learned pretty quick though. And then I got certified, and I I've been doing lots of personal training throughout the years, and nowadays, since about 2020, I just exclusively coach. So I coach all athletes of all levels. Those that are just getting into sprint triathlon, I have somebody doing that on Kansas City Triathlon, all the way up to people that are doing, Ironman World Championships, 70.3 World Championships. Love the sport, love everything about it, and it's my full-time gig too, which is really cool.
That's awesome.
Along with the kiddos now too.
Yeah. Very good.
Yeah.
Good.
And you asked about what are some open events.
Yeah.
So I do some time trials at the downtown airport.
Okay.
So a time trial will just be as fast as you can go. It's 11.5 miles.
Okay.
And that's pretty much every third Thursday of the month. That's going to be changing a little bit with our kids triathlon program, but that's okay. And then I also do open rides on Saturday. So we meet all over the city, mostly down in the Southland.
Yeah.
And we'll go from, some people will go 20 miles, some people will go 100 miles. There's people that go 12 miles an hour. There's people that go 23 miles an hour. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
it's
it's
all-
inviting an inclusive community. I know Katie's come out and she found some people to ride with.
It's a very inclusive community. I am not fast. I like to take a lot of breaks. I really like the coffee stop in the middle.
Yep. I'm a
but it
big
has made me
fan of the
faster.
coffee stop. Yes, I am.
Right?
Except you have a little bit more than just coffee. So.
Yeah. It's coffee, donuts, little piece of cake. I like to sample, see
You call that fuel.
Yeah,
Coffee and
right.
fuel.
I like to just sample it all. I don't ride the bike just to not sample stuff.
I love that. Yeah. If you want to come sample, you can come play with
Yeah,
us.
you go.
for sure. Yeah.
Very good.
Well, good. Well, one of the last things we like to do before the end of the show, we just started this. We asked ChatGPT some questions, and we call it rapid fire.
Yep.
So
you are subjugated to the
will of ChatGPT.
the will.
Wait,
You never know what you're gonna get.
Sometimes it's spicy, for sure.
It can be.
okay, but let's keep our answers not spicy.
Yeah, no. This is a family friendly.
Family-friendly.
Yeah, this is
So-
what we're trying to do.
So
Also, I just said that, and I want everybody to know that.
the beauty is ChatGPT knows that you all are doing the kids triathlon programs, and certainly knows about Shawnee Mission Tries. So there's a few questions in here. They kind of ask about the relationship between the two experiences. So first one, you ready? So what's harder to coordinate? 200 adult triathletes or 20 kids in goggles and mismatched socks?
Adult triathlete.
Aren't we just really just giant kids?
Yeah.
Right?
Make it harder.
All right. True or false? The toughest part of Shawnee Mission Try is the parking lot.
I don't think so. I think the parking lot's
I usually roll up there late, so it's I'm usually just parking in the back on the grass.
All right. So, Katie, this one's probably more for you. So be honest, on race day, you ever hide in a porta potty just for a 5-minute break?
You know what? Yes. And then I still have my radio on me. Or even if I'm just going to the bathroom and
My
somebody's
radio.
like, Katie, can I have a break? I need a minute.
That's so good.
Absolutely.
So good.
You know what
So
I love about Katie is she always has somebody that's walking around with her.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Her handler. Yeah.
God.
You gotta-
The handler, the one that keeps her on, and then
Yeah.
runs interference when somebody that she
Katie,
knows
Katie,
comes up.
Katie.
Yeah. Katie's
Yep.
busy right now.
Yeah,
She's
so-
running the race.
Guys, last year that was Annie at Shawnee Mission Try. And she was fabulous. She was our DJ,
Yeah.
Jeff's wife, Annie Shipman. And someone tried to track me down, and she was like, "No, you are not talking to her right now." Oh, God, thank you everywhere.
That's awesome.
That's great. All right. So, Josh, this is for you. If you had to compete in the Shawnee Mission Try using a floaty, a tricycle, and light up sneakers, how far would you make it?
Oh, I'd do the whole thing, man. I would make that
The whole way.
What's sad is you would still kick me all over the course.
Yep.
Like an adult tricycle or like a Red Rider tricycle?
I'm thinking the Red Rider tricycle,
Yeah.
a big wheel,
Oh,
maybe
like-
even a big wheel. Yeah.
I'd have
in
to
your
probably
armpit.
walking up the hill.
I was gonna say that hill would be brutal, wouldn't it?
Yeah. But man, coming down, like if you had the old like the Night Rider tricycle,
yeah.
and you could like pull it and like slide the brakes
slide
around.
out.
That'd be
Yeah.
cool.
Oh my gosh, that's
Can I
amazing.
put a disc wheel on it?
Yeah.
All right. So if a kids race had a mascot, would it be a squirrel on a scooter or a parent with 3 coffees and a cowbell?
Wow.
Man, that's a thinker, right?
I know, right?
Second, it would be a parent.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's a squirrel.
Yeah. I'd
I
go
was
with
trying
the
to I was
squirrel.
trying to think because sometimes parents get a little bit crazy, but I tend to like relate back to the parents that are just so excited and that they have 2 kids in the race, so they need 3 coffees because one of them just raced and they chased them down, and then they had to run all the way back to see their other kid get in the water for their swim, and it's just chaos for them, which I kind
yeah.
of feel bad for them, but like it's a workout too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Squirrel. I disagree. I think it's
Yeah?
yeah, because like attention spans and whatnot. Like we were talking yesterday. I was talking about like anxiety and how that means you care about races. It means you care about things that are important to you. And like I asked a question, and it was like they said something completely different. Like it was like
I didn't listen.
yeah, it was like I really like these dandelions or something like that.
Yeah, and you're like,
Wait a minute.
come on, man.
Well, so to be fair, Josh, you see a different side of like an actual race at a triathlon than what I see.
That's true.
Because I sometimes I'm on the beach and I would relate to the squirrel thing only because we put swim caps on these kids and then we try to get them to listen to us and they can't hear us to begin with. But then you covered their ears and they definitely can't hear you. And they're like, what? And then they can't see you. And it's,
Yeah.
we're like, just go with the green. Get over there.
Just go with your same people. Just
Yep.
stay with
Yep.
the green caps over here, blue caps over here. Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
So
All right, one last one. If race day had a soundtrack, would it be Chariots of Fire, Baby Shark, or the sound of 300 athletes frantically saying, "Where's my other shoe?"
Josh, what do you think?
I don't know.
I was going to say it would be AC/DC.
Oh,
oh,
there
okay.
you go.
That like get you going.
A
Yeah.
ride-in. Yeah.
Also has some pretty good words to it.
Yeah.
Like depending on what song you choose. I don't think Baby Shark.
No.
Definitely
No.
not Baby Shark.
No.
No, maybe Chariots of Fire.
Yeah, there you go. That's good stuff. So,
Yep. I like those questions.
Oh
Those
yeah,
are
you
fun.
gotta have a little
Yeah,
bit of
it's
fun.
fun,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, it took it easy because you guys were on, but normally it just rips Travis and I.
Oh yeah,
apart,
if you
so-
ever want to laugh, just search our names and open range gravel race.
Yeah.
And then just tell it to be like, what is it? Savage.
Yeah,
And
just
you'll
roast
laugh
us.
so hard.
Yeah, and it's right.
And
It's sad. It's sad.
The fun thing is it's pretty much right.
Yeah, I usually cry after those episodes. We get done recording because I realize how correct it was.
Yep. It's always a pleasure talking to you guys. Josh, we're going to have you on again sometime for sure to tell us a little bit more about your story and your journey through triathlon for sure. And Katie, always a pleasure. Just looking forward to seeing you at Shawnee Mission and looking forward to helping you guys out in the best way we can. And thanks again for coming on and your guys' time today.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys for having us. We appreciate it.
Thank you for listening to this episode. Please, if you like what we are doing here, leave a like, rate us, comment, subscribe, and share with your friends. It really helps us grow and finds us more SufferSooner squad mates. And remember, when the finish line feels impossibly far away, we don't give up, we push harder, we dig deeper, and we find solace in the knowledge that our suffering is temporary and our resilience is forever.